Welcome to the Underground, my little underground with Peter A.
It's My Little Underground. I'm Peter A. This week on the show we have DJ Proof, Miami-based DJ and producer. He talked up his Red Wine and Veggie Burgers beat tape out now on Citronella Room. He talked about DJing for Sky Zoo, one of his favorite MCs, the Miami music community, always keeping your skills sharp because you have no idea who's listening. Take that from me, because when it comes to this podcast, I don't know who's listening, so I'm always going to try to do my best to have the best conversations with any artist that comes on this show. And DJ Proof also talked about connecting with legends Talib, Kweli, Lord Finesse down in Puerto Rico. So good to chat with DJ Proof, yet another Citronella Room artist that has made their way onto My Little Underground. Give him a nice warm welcome. DJ Proof on My Little Underground.
My Little Underground.
All right, DJ Proof, welcome to My Little Underground. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. First off, you were DJing for Sky Zoo down in Miami recently, right?
Yeah. It was about 2 weeks ago. It was the Miami leg of the Mount of Saint tour.
Oh, yeah. How did that go and how did that come about?
Actually, my man's H2 Owens, he actually put it together with North 305 and also Lex One Only. They started a promotions team called 4K Promotions. So they found this location in Miami, a brewery called Lincoln Beard. So what they started doing was they did like hip hop shows like once a month. I think it was like the third Saturday of every month. So it first started off with like just local acts. Then they brought Homeboy Sandman down.
Oh,
yeah, and then it was H's birthday coming up, so he wanted to do something, bigger. So next thing I know, he was like, okay, we got Sky Zoo and we got Kill Ripken and we got Job Freedom. And I was like, wow. So then he was like, I want you to be the DJ. So I'm like, yo, I'm there. Because, Sky Zoo is like one of my favorite, like MCs, period, currently right now. So couldn't turn that down. So we did the sound check and everything. And then he pretty much was like, okay, you're going to run Sky Zoo's set. I was like, whoa, for real? Yo, I'm in. So we did a little sound check or whatever, I got with Sky, he told me, how he wanted things to run and everything like that. And he did the whole entire Mount of Saint album, like start to finish, like flawlessly, man. It was just like incredible just to be able to witness that, man. It was crazy.
that's powerful. That's really important because he's one of your favorites, and to be on stage with him is nuts. So when it comes to what he wants out of a DJ doing a show, what are some of the things that he looks for?
Basically he was like in certain parts of the set, he would go a cappella. And he did that I think maybe like 2 or 3 times because he really wanted the people to like really feel the lyrics of what he was saying. So like a few times he we cut the music, some crowd participation, after a couple of songs, kind of get the crowd more into it, to make sure they still, focus and, paying attention to what's going on. On my end, it was pretty simple. It was pretty, straightforward. I mean, he was the one pretty much doing everything. It was just like I said before, it was just amazing, just to witness, man, just from like almost perfection, man, from like start to finish.
That's when MCing comes in instead of just rapping. Because
Exactly.
you're really in control of the crowd and the DJ, making sure the show is moving the way it's supposed to be moved, which is beautiful.
Exactly.
So who are some of your favorite current or just all-time rappers?
Okay, I'm gonna start from my childhood.
All right.
Okay, so when I was coming up, my favorite MC was Redman.
Oh man,
Redman
he's one
was
of the
like,
best.
Redman was like one of my favorites. Of course, Jay-Z. Who else? Within like the past 10 years, I would say, okay, got MF Doom, of course, rest in peace. Fonte from Little Brother is like one of my favorites, man. Like just artist, period, not just from an MC standpoint, just from like an artist. He's been one of my favorite for like a while. Ever since I heard the Listening album, I was like, yo, this guy got something. And then when he got with Foreign Exchange and everything, it just blew me away. Fonte, of course, Sky Zoo. Who else we got, man? I can think of. Benny the Butcher. I like Benny. I like some of the street stuff, man. And lately
Love
I've been
Griselda.
love them. And lately I've been getting into I guess somebody I kind of like. I was kind of late to the party. Ransom.
Oh wow.
This is MC Ransom. Yeah, man. I've been feeling his stuff like a lot lately. It's like kind of like things that have been like coming up in my shuffle. Like when I'm at the gym, I just put on like random. And then like his songs been like constantly coming, coming up in the shuffle while, I'm working on and stuff. And I'm like, yo, how did I not know about this guy like 5-6 years ago, man? Like the bar work is like incredible, man. But for like from a street standpoint, it was just like blowing me away to the point I had to keep like rewinding songs. Then I did more into his catalog, songs with the Game. Like he has like a lot of like songs with like very well-known artists. That's why I'm surprised he kind of slipped through the cracks, because I tend to stay up on top of my, my hip hop, especially like my underground independent stuff. But yeah, Ransom is like one of my favorite currently. Like he's like heavy rotation right now.
I can imagine like you DJing at a club, because your palette is eclectic, right? So you're going from Doom to Benny the Butcher. It's insane. So I can imagine what your set list would be like at a show. I can only imagine that. So do you have, you're DJing for Sky Zoo, and I'm sure you've DJed for Artisan P. And do you have ambitions of being a tour DJ for anyone?
Of course. I mean, when we started doing this music thing, especially from a DJ standpoint, you do it first and foremost for the love, but it's nice to actually make a living off of it, and get some, some money, some profit from it, finances, like that. But yeah. Honestly, like to be a tour DJ, club DJ. I mean, it's always like, something that, I always wanted to do, when I first got into music. The whole production side came later. I was just a DJ first because of my love for music. So being able to like be on stage with one of your favorite artists is just like a bucket list moment for me. So going back to the Sky Zoo thing, it was just like a bucket list. I was like in awe, and I was trying my best not to make any mistakes, because I wanted to be on point, because, I didn't want to be like, so caught up in the moment, without being, focused on what I'm really there to do, which is like, be his support on stage, while he's, killing the crowd and stuff. But yeah, being like a tour DJ is always a dream, man. And I've had the opportunity to like be the DJ for a lot of, my favorite artists, whether, local, a couple of, guys from out of town or whatever, but, I've still had the opportunity, and, just being up there with them, just watching how they control the crowd and, move the crowd and just grab everybody's attention, man. It's just like an amazing thing just to be around, just to witness. It's crazy.
When you talk about being like a perfectionist, making sure you don't make mistakes in front of one of your favorite MCs, because you don't know who's watching, good or bad. And also that can probably lead to something else. So have you ever gotten a gig based off of what someone has come up to you and saying, hey, I saw you spin over here and I heard you did a beat for so-and-so. Are you open to doing this gig or maybe working with this MC over here?
Yes. It's funny that you mentioned that. That's actually how pretty much everything has gone, how everything has progressed for me. I started off doing very, I guess you could say, like maybe not the best gigs or whatever, but just from meeting certain people while I'm doing these gigs. And I guess they can just see the passion and, of course, the music that I'm playing and stuff like that. And, as far as like the networking, they'd be like, hey, listen, I love what you're playing. I want to, connect you with somebody else who can put you in another position. And that's pretty much how it, happened. It's kind of like a domino effect. I meet one person, play at a spot, meet another person, and it just kind of just kept progressing over the years to the point now, pretty much the events that I'm playing are like pretty much just, I don't want to say dream events, but I've had some pretty good opportunities that came about because of the whole networking and people that I've met while doing like other gigs. So yeah, definitely. The networking is key. Networking is key.
Absolutely. So when it comes to DJ, how often do you DJ a club or block party, some sort of community event down in Florida or elsewhere around the country or even the world?
Anywhere from like 2 to 4 times a week.
Wow. Like just in Florida or domestically around the country?
I've actually had the opportunity to go play out in LA a few times, which was like really dope. And once again, that came from, I was playing at a local spot down here. It was a guy that happened to be from LA, in the crowd, having a good time vibing. He approached me And he's like, "Yeah, I want to bring you out to LA because I love what you're playing. These people out here are gonna love you." We got everything together. It was a weekend I was available. I went over there. He had like 2 gigs lined up. I did both of them. When I was done, it was like, "Yo, we got to bring him back." And brought me back out there a couple of months later. Then a couple of months later after that. So yeah, definitely, man. Just you never know who's listening, man. You never know who's listening. That's why one of the OGs used to always tell me, like one of the guys I came up listening to, he was like, whether it's 5 people or 5,000, give it your all because you never know who's going to be listening and who's going to be there. So if there's 5 people there, one person can really make a difference as far as your career. So you never know. So you always got to go hard and just really like put your all into it.
That's a gem I carry on throughout my life too, no matter what medium, especially doing this podcasting thing. I don't know who's listening to me. And the thing is, I'll do my best for 2 listeners, and just the same as I would 1 million listeners. You know what I mean? Because again, you just don't know. You don't know who's listening. So you always got to be on your A game. Always got to be sharp and take everything seriously and everybody seriously.
Oh, you got to. Like even okay, we talked like the production game and everything. I pretty much just started off just doing it for fun. My cousin, who really put me onto a lot of music, he started making beats and he was like, "Yo, you should make beats. You already DJ, music. Why don't you do it?" I tried it, just for fun at first. I really at first didn't think anything was going to come from it. But then I just started getting more focused and just like every day I was making beats, even though a lot of my first beats were really bad. I just kept going. Then a couple of local people, they found me, on MySpace. That's how far back we're going.
Wow.
Back to MySpace days. Found me on MySpace for a couple of beats that I had posted. They, inboxed me, "Hey, I want to work with you. I love what I'm hearing." That happened. And then from there, it was kind of like, once again, what we were talking about, like the whole, like meeting this person and meeting this person, and that's pretty much how it happened, to the point where like, I have like a lot of, as far as my catalog is like it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Like I've worked with a lot of people, not just local people. I've worked with people, all across the United States, and even as far as like, I don't want to mispronounce the country's name. What is it Uruguay, or something like that? Yeah. It's a crew out there called Black Magic. They found me somehow. They did, and we did like 2 or 3 projects already. So like, and then as far as like, I got people in South Africa, I got people in like all parts of Europe that have just tapped in. I don't know how they found me, but they found me. So that just goes to show you just got to put your all into it, because you never know who's going to come across it.
Yeah. Just a few more things on your DJ before we get into your beat tape that just came out. When you're gigging, what are you usually playing, and what are people either requesting or reacting the best to, even when you're in Tampa, Miami, or even out in LA?
Kind of depends on the crowd and the venue. Let's say for instance at like Skyzoo show, I would tend to play more, I guess you could say, true school hip hop, maybe throw some 90s in there. Maybe not the commercial hip hop that you would normally hear, like, like a top 40 spot or something like that, but something more for, the hip hop heads,
Gotcha.
So, I may, throw in, like some Wu-Tang, I throw in some Griselda tracks in there. Of course I got to bless people with my 90s hip hop, got to do a little 90s hip hop set, but, stuff like that, stuff more for, like the boom bap heads, like the real true, hip hop heads. Now, if I'm in a different spot where it's more commercialized, people want to go party and, kind of, get their groove on or turn up or whatever you want to call it, I may end up playing, groups like, let's say, Migos, and even like, since we're in South Florida, we have like a very big Hispanic community. So of course you got to throw your reggaeton in there, of course your Bad Bunny and stuff like that. Maybe throwing in some house music, stuff like that. It's pretty much the game right now down here is pretty much open format. So playing all genres of music is like a must, because the population down here is so mixed and diverse. It's like a melting pot. So you got to be able to cater to like all these different people in one venue. So like one night to the next will be totally different. So like on a Thursday, I can be doing Skyzoo show. On a Friday, I could be playing, somewhere in Wynwood, Brickell, or South Miami or something like that, where the crowd is totally different. They want to they want to dance, and stuff like that. So it's just depends on the crowd and the venue, how I approach it.
Do you ever have that one person that comes up that hangs around the booth all night long with their phone in your face saying, play this song, play that song? Because some New York, Long Island DJs that I know, they go through that a lot. So I'm wondering if that still happens to you down in Florida or even wherever you're DJing.
That's actually a norm right now, man.
Wow.
That's actually a norm. And me and some of my buddies, we actually kind of joke about it. Basically, right now with the phone thing is mainly like play Bad Bunny and when you're gonna play Bad Bunny. And it's normally like some girl or whatever in the crowd, and she'll just hold that phone up. And it's even funny, like when people actually approach the booth, because a lot of times I'm with, the homies or whatever, and I'll just lean over and I'll be like, watch, they're going to ask for Bad Bunny. 5 minutes later, they walk up, can you play Bad Bunny? I'm like, see what I told you? So yeah, man. People, the whole phone thing, I mean, it's cool, but it kind of gets to a point where it gets annoying, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, we're going to play it, but some people kind of, become impatient because they want it right now. They want that they want the instant satisfaction. They want the instant thing. And when you're playing for a crowd, you can't just cater to one person. You got to cater to everybody. So some people don't grasp that concept that I'm not just playing for you. I'm playing for 100, 200, 300 people, whatever number that's in this party. But yeah, the phone thing, they kind of just need to stop that because it kind of gets annoying. But I understand people that are out, of course they're drinking, having a good time, they may get a little impatient, want to hear their song right away, but it doesn't always work like that, man. And luckily for them, I'm pretty patient, but I've seen like some DJs blow up on people and like literally like kick them out. They'll have security come kick them out because they can't really do their job because if somebody's constantly, shoving a phone in their face, play this, when you're going to play it, can you play it now? It just kind of knocks you off your game a little bit,
That's probably when the bartender should be like, okay, you've had enough. That's enough for you.
Yeah.
It's usually the people that have had too much that are hanging around with the phone out or whatever. Of course. So talk to me about the Miami hip hop or music scene, generally speaking.
The Miami hip hop scene now is very diverse. A lot of people figure that, okay, since we're in the South, we're mainly, doing trap music. Not necessarily the case. It's actually a bubbling like hip hop community down here. With recently, over the past year, we've had like some really good shows come down here. We've actually had Griselda, the entire crew, come down here multiple times. We have Currency come down. Wu-Tang, Nas had a show here a few months back. Skyzoo show, Homeboy Sandman, things like that. So the hip hop community down here is really bubbling. And people actually coming out showing support for these shows, which is a good thing because that lets the promoters know that they can continue to do these things because they want to have the support. As far as like other types of music, it's always going to be there because of Miami. So when people come to Miami, what they want to do, they want to go to the club, they want to pop bottles, they want to do things of that nature. They want to turn up, they want to have a good time. So you also got that side of it also. So I pretty much would say down here, you can pretty much get almost anything you want as far as music. You can get the music for the hip hop heads, people don't want to, turn up in the club, and then, you also have, the Hispanic community out here. So you can pretty much, if you want to salsa merengue, you can find that almost anywhere. So it's like very diverse. That's like, you can find almost anything down here as far as when it comes to music, which is a good thing,
What artists do you recommend from Miami that you think I should be paying attention to? I'm going to write them down.
Okay. Down in Miami. Okay, we got a few guys. Okay, you got a Smoke and Mirrors crew. Those are my guys. Smoke and Mirrors. You got Shotty. That's another guy. He's real hot down here right now. Another artist I like has got Tetris. T-E-T.
Like the game?
Yeah. I like Tetris a lot. We got No Emotion. No Emotion kind of gives me like Doom vibes because when he does his shows, he always has on a mask.
Ah, cool.
And, he has like that similar flow and like witty wordplay, just like Doom. So you got No Emotion. You got what else you got? What else you got? You have a man, Surgeon General.
Surgeon.
Yeah.
Surgeon General. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've actually done some stuff with him like way back when I first started like production a long time ago. We're talking like 15 years ago at least.
Wow.
You got who else you got? Who else you got? Who else you got? Damn. Trying to think off the top, man, because there's so many and I don't want to leave anybody out, man, because there's so many dope artists down here, man.
You gave me a good amount though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a good amount. That's more.
Yeah.
That's a lot. So you do feel like the music community down there is supportive?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. We have like monthlies down here. Not just the one that for the Sky Zoo show. We also have a movement called La Plancha, which is being run by my man Orion and DJ XS. It's basically something they do every month, and it's kind of like a showcase for artists, and it's for them to perform, but it's also like a competition. They'll normally have like 4 or 5 artists perform, their set, and then at the end, the audience will vote, who had the best performance, and they will kind of get like a trophy, which is like a golden iron. So, La plancha, and that's been a bubbling movement. Also, they've been doing it, I think, for like maybe close to a year or something like that, or whatever. And they do it like every month, and like each show just keeps getting better and better and better and better, because they not only have the artists perform, they'll have a guest DJ, they'll have a cipher at the end of the night where somebody's playing beats. So it's just something that's just real dope for the hip hop community down here, man. So I actually did a few months ago. I actually did a set.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A few months ago, I actually did a set. Yeah, for them. Yeah. So,
anybody come up to you with their phone at a
no.
Plancha event? No.
That's not gonna help. That's not gonna happen there because them real heads there, man. They don't play that.
they'll respect. Because when I go see DJs that I know live, like I leave them alone, and they'll ask me, "You want to hear something?" Like, nope. You do what you do. Yeah. I want to see the science to everything that's happening here. I want to be surprised. So
exactly, man.
So tell me about your connections to Citronella Room. Like, how did you get connected with them?
All right, my man Artisan P.
Big up.
Yeah, that's my guy. It's my brother, man. I was actually DJing at a place in the south end of Miami. It was pretty much like a little dive bar. It was actually one of my first gigs ever. It was like a little dive bar, so they wanted to start an old school hip hop on Sunday nights. So I was over there spinning. He came up to me the one night because I was playing Doom, and he was like, "I can't believe." No, actually, I wasn't Doom. I was playing Souls of Mischief.
Oh wow!
And he was like, "I can't believe this guy's playing Souls of Mischief." So he came over. He's like, "Yo, man, my name's not gonna drop his government name, but my name's Artisan. My name's Artisan. I love what you're playing. Blah blah blah. Let me get your information and stuff like that." So I'm not sure if we linked up on maybe Facebook or Instagram. I can't remember because it was so long ago. But one of the two. And then that's when he found out that I was making beats, and he was like, "Oh, you make beats too?" Because I'm rapping and stuff like that. So I was like, "Yeah, man, we could do something." You know what I'm saying? Because it was long ago. I was still early, as far as like making beats. I'd only been making beats for like a few years. So and I just wanted somebody to rap over my beats. So he presented the opportunity. I was like, "Okay, let's work." So I sent him a bunch of beats, and we just started recording. Doing demos and stuff like that. And it turns out that he actually lived like 3 blocks from me, which was crazy. And the studio that we recorded at was a block from him. So everything was like pretty much in the same neighborhood. Like I could pretty much walk there, which was great. So that right there just gave me the whole energy and everything as far as like, okay, this is supposed to happen. Because he randomly found me at a random bar. I'm not gonna say the bar's name, but it was like a random bar. Turns out we know a lot of the same people, and he lives in the same neighborhood where I live at. And it's just crazy how everything just came together. So we did that first project. And then he was already, I think, working with some of the other guys from Citronella. But let me rewind. We actually had a collective called Fuzzy Nickels. That was the first collective at first. And that was pretty much a group of MCs and producers from Miami, I want to say Miami, Palm Beach, and Orlando. So Artisan and my man Mondrian Lube out of Orlando, they founded it, and it was consisted of like maybe 6 or 7 MCs, a couple of producers, including myself. And we actually started doing an event called, man, I can't remember off the top of my head, but we used to do an event like once a month in Orlando. And pretty much everybody would come to the spot and just showcase what we're doing. So it'll be performances, it will be beat sets, be DJ sets, everything. But it was all created by Fuzzy Nichols. So after like a couple of years, I think life took over. So a lot of people kind of faded or whatever. So he decided to start Citronella Room to start his own thing. That's after he had moved up to Tallahassee from Miami. So and he asked me if I wanted to be a part of it. I was like, yeah, man, let's do it, man. You start your own label, man. I got your back. So, come on, let's do it. And I think the first project he did was like not the Golden Summer one. Me and him did an EP before that. And I think that was the first one that was on Citronella. So then in the past year, he asked me if I wanted to do like a beat tape. And I was like, yeah, I'll do one. But I wanted to be a little different, because my sound, most people know me from like, soul, boom bap, hard hitting, stuff like that. I wanted to do something more chill, something more relaxed. And I told him, I was like, I want to do something called Red Wine Veggie Burgers. At first, he was like, okay. And I was like, no, man, just trust me. I got to do something different. So he was like, all right, cool. So I actually sent him 2 different batches. The first batch, sent it over. I think I rushed it a little bit because I ended up telling him to scratch all of those beats. And I was like, I want to see another batch. It took me a couple of months, but I got it to him. And this is the batch that we went with that we released a couple of months ago. The whole idea behind like the Red Wine and Veggie Burgers is basically just like I wanted to do something like just like really like chill, jazzy beats that you can just sit down and just have a glass of red wine after you finish your veggie burger, maybe smoke a cigar, or, smoke some other stuff, and just just chill and just vibe to the music, man. That's pretty much what I wanted to do. He was behind me, said let's put it on cassette tapes. I was all right, let's do it, man. And then the rest is history. So.
Well, that's exactly what I experienced when listening to Red Wine and Veggie Burgers, because I know Florida, I visit there and I have family over there, and I know it's very relaxed, calming, especially during the summer and spring months, and outdoor patio parties. And, here in New York, outdoor eating is going to become a thing because the weather's going to be beautiful, especially this week. So that's exactly what I felt. And as far as the jazz is concerned, cozy conditioning. I mean, those horns on there, it's like, oh, wow, I am at a barbecue right now. I smell the charcoal from listening to this. It's great. But when this is on tapes, right? So on a cassette. So do you think this medium works for you as an artist and as a DJ, even as like a consumer of music?
Yeah, because the way I feel, time always repeats itself. So like past couple of years, like vinyl has been like coming back. Everybody's buying vinyl like crazy. Like we back in like the 80s and 90s. Cassette tapes, I think, is like right there in line. So, but I don't know. The thing is, like when the whole cassette tape idea came about, I was like, okay, who still has a cassette player, or who has a cassette player in a car or a Walkman or something like that? So I'm like, okay, what is this? But then I noticed more and more people, when they're putting out projects, they were putting out cassette tapes, and I'm like, okay, and these things are selling out, because I actually did something a couple of years back where we did cassettes and they sold out. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is like a new, trend that's going on. So when he came to me, I was like, okay, let's do it, because some people may find a tape player somewhere and play it, but I think some people might just keep them as like collector's items. So something just to have, okay, I'm going to download the album that I can play in my car or, on my phone or whatever, but I want to keep this tape as just, like a collector's item, like a piece of memorabilia, what I'm saying, just to hold on to. So the whole tape idea, man, I'm with it. And then on top of that, I mean, it's not expensive, so you're not going to break people's pockets at the same time, so it's like perfect. And then you give them the option to, the download, and they can also get the cassette tape. So, they're getting like 2 for 1, so I was with the idea, and I was like, let's go.
Yep. And that's why I collect vinyl, because I love how vinyl sounds, and it's a reliable format. And I even have records that are like 40, 50 years old. They still sound amazing. We just got to take care of them.
Exactly.
And the 2-for-1 thing is real. Like, I love getting the download code because I could take it with me and listen to it at home. So it's perfect. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
So talk to me about your Puerto Rico trip last year, because I saw some pictures on Instagram. You were, taking pictures with some legends. You had Lord Finesse and Static Selector. Tell me about that.
Oh man. That basically came about. Okay, it was kind of like a last minute thing. One of my partners, another DJ that I know, got now, he had actually won this online contest that was going on. It was actually going on during COVID. So basically, it was like a weekly DJ contest where they would throw curveballs at you as far as the music. Like, you basically just couldn't go on there and be like, okay, just do a set. They would have like rules like, okay, only play artists from this region, or only play artists from this city, or only play this genre of music, but don't play this specific artist. So it was like just crazy. Basically, had to like think on the fly, and you couldn't use Wi-Fi, you couldn't use anything. So it's basically like really testing your skills on the spot. Wow. In front of our audience, to see what you got. So he won this contest, and the winner got a free trip to Puerto Rico to perform at the Rocksteady event out there. So I was like, you know what? I'm free that weekend, so I just booked the flight, booked the room, and I went out there. So got out there, went to the parties, linked up with him or whatever. And then he was like, yo, they're doing a beach party. I was like, oh, for real? And it was free. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. Whenever somebody says free, I'm always gonna look into it. So
same.
Yeah. And then I saw that it was like a Lord Finesse brunch. And I'm like, oh, Lord Finesse. And then they were like, okay, Talib Kweli is gonna be spinning, then this person gonna be spinning. I'm like, hold up, man, I gotta go to this. So jumped in an Uber, and it was like maybe like a 30-40 minute ride in the Uber, because it was so much traffic, because it was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday afternoon. So it was like one way in and one way out. So the traffic was so backed up, and it was maybe only really, I want to say 6 miles from my hotel, but because of the traffic, it took 30, 40, 50 minutes to get there. So I get there, boom, walking to the party. Soon as I walk through the door, Russell Peters is right there. So I'm like, whoa, okay, boom. Keep going. Static Selector's right here. Freaking Kweli's here. Who else? My man DJ Eclipse was there. Of course, Love Finesse was playing. Man, it was just crazy, man. It was just crazy, just like the beat, just to be in that whole, like environment with them. And the thing was, it was more of an intimate setting. It wasn't that many people, but it was enough for the vibe. Everybody that was there was just enjoying themselves. People weren't on their phones. Everybody was just enjoying the music and just the vibe and everything that was going on. Not to mention, it was right on the beach. So it was like the scenery and everything was perfect, man. You had the water right there. You had the sand. It was just perfect. It was just beautiful. You had the drinks, I had my cigar because, I got into smoking cigars. So I felt at home. So when God now finished his set, he was like, yo, let's just hang out for a little bit. So he had a little section back there. We went back there, had a couple of drinks. Back there hanging with Static, hanging with Russell Peters, hanging with, Kweli, so it was just crazy. And Lord Finesse was back there too. So we were just like, I'm like sitting there talking to you guys like I've known him my whole life, It's crazy. So it was just like a powerful experience, man, just to meet him. And like each and every one of those individuals so down to earth, so humble, and I'm sitting there in awe. I'm like, do you guys know who you are? And they're just talking to me like, somebody I've known for like, years, we just talking about music, just talking about, Puerto Rico, the event.
Because you're one of them. You're one of them. That's
exactly, man. So I felt that, and I just felt at home, man. I just felt like I felt that, I made the right decision, just to jump on the plane and just go, man. And I actually went by myself. I didn't go with anybody because I left on a Thursday, but I booked my flight and hotel that Tuesday. So I did it like 2 days in advance because I was just like, you know what, let me just go. And I just went on a humbug, took that risk. Went out there, had a great time, connected with a few people, like within the music, photographers, just, people within the industry. So it was just like, it was worth the risk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I bet you had just at home, just contemplating, thinking, if I ever met Talib Kweli, if I ever met Lord Finesse, this is what I would ask them. And I bet when you got there and actually got to talk to them, it just slipped your mind.
Exactly. But I was just nervous, man. Just talking to him. I'm like, man, I grew up on you guys' music, man. You know, like to me, like you're legends. So just to be sitting there having a conversation and chopping it up with you was like, man, I'm good.
That's crazy.
I'm good, man. I'm perfect, man. I'm good, man. Great time, man. You know.
Now you got a story and an experience like you'll just never forget, and you'll keep telling. Exactly. On any other podcast that you do, you'll tell this story, and it'll always be interesting because it's like it's something. It's once in a lifetime, and it's something that you just had to be there to experience. You know,
exactly, man. Exactly, man. It's perfect.
Yeah. So DJ Proof, I want to thank you so much for coming on My Little Underground. Anything you want to plug? This is your time.
Yeah, big shout out to everybody that's listening right now. DJ Proof from Miami, man. You can find me on all social media outlets. DJ Proof Beats, that's with a Z, on Instagram, and also DJ Proof 305. Just released, of course, the Red Wine and Veggie Burgers on Citronella Records. That's on all DSPs, and also the Bandcamp, Citronella Room, .bandcamp.com. You can also get it on my Bandcamp, djproofbeats.bandcamp.com. You search for it on Spotify, iTunes. It's available everywhere. Also just put out an album with my man Rob Gonzalez out of Phoenix. On Second Thought. That's our second album. The first one was All Said and Done. We're actually working on the third installment. Haven't come up with a title. We just started working on it. Also trying to get Buster and Artisan P to finally do this collab album. You know, I just want to be a part of it. You know, I went up to Tallahassee last month for the Red Wine Veggie Burgers release party, and I was talking to both, and I was like, we got to make this happen. So, you know, they were both in. So now I just gotta, you know, get on my end, you know, send them some beats, so you know we can get this thing going. But yeah, man, just check me, man. Just check me. I got a lot of coming out, man. You know, just stay tapped in, man. Stay tapped in. I'm always posting beats. You know, so if any MCs out there want to link up and you want to work, man, yo, just shoot me a message and we can go from there.
All right, Proof. Thank you so much, my man.
No doubt. Thank you for having me again, brother.
You got it.
My Little Underground.